Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another In the Fire.
Hey!
Hi! This is Claudia, just in case you forgot.
I'm Vanjie.
And I'm Casey.
So this week's episode, Casey, do you want to tell us what we're talking about?
Oh my gosh, so I'm so excited for this episode today. We're going to talk about Superwoman is tired, because your girl be getting tired juggling everything, trying to make it all work. Mm-hmm. So we thought that would be an amazing topic for us to go over.
Yes. Yeah. Before we get started, let's address the elephant in the room.
There's an elephant in the room?
We're at a different location.
It's an actual different room. It's a new table.
I was like,
that just hit me right now. I'm all like, oh, they're going to be like, yeah, move.
Yes,
We did indeed move. This is our, I would say, fairly more consistent. Yeah. This will be our recording area, so you will see more of this. So, that's the elephant.
I thought she was going to just jump off and say something else. I was like, oh my God, here we go, guys.
If you're listening on the podcast, you can't see, but we are in a whole different room.
A whole different house.
Thank you for our listeners only. Yes, we are at a different location. So if you guys want to see our other location that we're from the first one, or I'm not sure if you even saw the first one, but it's a whole different thing. So just...
And for some reason, that does make a difference. People were commenting on the location.
Yeah.
So
what
weird.
It looked like and how it was set up.
Yeah.
And we want to thank you guys for viewing our first episode, our first ever episode. We got a lot of comments, a lot of shout outs. Like it was just great. The love that you guys show us was awesome. So thank you guys so much. And I ask for you guys to continue to support this podcast. Subscribing, sharing it with a friend. I don't know, like bring friends, bring friends to the table.
As you listen to these episodes, you're going to start thinking like, man, my friend is going through that. Mm-hmm. She could really benefit from hearing something like this. Yeah. Don't hesitate to share it with them. Tag them and stuff. Let's get this out and let's help other women that are just like us.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, so how was your week, Vanjie? Like, we're going to start to see how our week is going. So, tell us about your week.
My week was good. I got into a car accident on Tuesday.
Oh, that was good.
Like, right after the day we recorded Monday. We record on Mondays, guys. So, right before this went on our social media platform, I got hit behind on the highway. Thank God nobody was hurt. There was no damage to my vehicle, but the other person, they had like a big dent in theirs because they hit the ball behind our truck. The hitch. Yeah, but the guy was really nice. When I told him, like, don't worry about it, there was no damage then, he was going like this, like, thank you. And I was like, oh, I don't know if there was damage. I probably would have let you go anyway. But he felt really bad. So I was a little sore from that a couple of weeks. But yeah. I had a pretty good week, despite other things.
Awesome.
No awesome, Casey. I got in a car.
Well, I'm glad you had a good week, is what I
mean. My week was good. I still feel like we went out to the lake this past weekend, so it was a really good time. I haven't been to the lake out in a while, so that was a good time with some friends and just hanging out. So it's a good before yes, it was a refresher. It was more of like, we got a busy week coming. Month end, I do accounting, so month end is very stressful. So we're at that time right now, month end. So it's just like, all right. So it was like the calm before the storm, which I know, like
every month it's like that for you.
Every month is like that, so I'm used to it. It's not like, oh, I'm complaining. No, I'm very blessed for my job. I love my job. It's just very much like, I know I'm going to be running around with like a chicken with its head cut off. Is that what they said?
A chicken with no head.
So I'm going to be back and forth. And so I think that's something that right now I'm just like, that lake was very much good. I got a little color, tan. But my girls had fun, so both of them haven't been on a boat. Well, the two we only took 2 out of our 4 girls. The other 2 girls were too busy for us. The 19-year-old, like, you
Sounds
never
right.
know. You never know when she's gonna
has her
join
own
us.
life.
Yeah, when she's gonna join us, and when she already had plans. And then the 12-year-old was with her father, so she with her dad's side of the family. So she didn't want to go. We gave her the option. She's like, no, I'm just gonna go with my dad. And I'm like, all right, girl. So we had
Okay, bye.
we had the 15-year-old and the 4-year-old, and they enjoyed it so much. They were in and out of the lake, so it was good to see them experience that. So
That's nice.
Yes.
But no, you're going to be crunch time.
Yeah, no stress.
yes.
My week was fun too. I haven't shown any videos on social media or anything, but I actually got together with my parents, my sister, and my niece. So my niece is getting married in September, the end of September.
The best month ever.
Yeah.
birthday.
Guess why? Oh yeah. I was like, guess why she said that. But she is getting married at the end of September. So we had went dress shopping a while back. She found one. And you know how they had to do the alterations, come back, final fitting. So we all came back. It fit her perfect.
Oh.
Like, it was so beautiful. My dad was there.
Wow.
Like, it was just a great moment to have with her. So we only have one niece by blood. I claim all of my nieces. But by blood, I have one niece and all nephews. So she is the one niece that is getting married. So it's very like emotional. We're so proud and happy and excited for her. So yeah, that was how my week went. We got to pick up her dress, and I was honored because she put it in my car.
Aww.
And she's like, you're in charge of the dress until it's time. So I brought the dress home, and me and the girls put it up. So yeah.
That's so sweet. Good.
That was nice.
Well, ladies, let's get started with today's topic. So I know we talked about like the pressure of everything, you know, us as women, we tend to hold or to carry so many caps, so many hats.
Yeah.
We with kids, work, friendship, marriage, work. I don't know if I already said that, but work.
She said it twice because it's stressful.
I have 2 jobs. I'm just kidding.
Technically, I mean, you do.
So we wanted to talk about how we handle it and how we stay above water. How do we actually not drown in all of the expectations? But it's more of like of everything that we're carrying, but it's expectations more like that we put on ourselves. I feel like
That part.
you know, like I feel
Yes.
like we put these expectations. Nobody
Nobody
does it like us either. You know, like when I'm saying that, it's just saying it to say it. But I know that I'm all like, oh, I'll just do it. By the time I explain it and like all this kind of stuff, you know what?
Yes.
I'll do it. But we tend to do that all the time.
Yeah.
You know, so
Or the pressure of being perfect.
Yeah.
Because we got to do it the right way.
And we live in a social media world where we think what we see online is how people really live. And I'm sorry, but that's not true.
Yeah. I wanted to share, or we wanted to share, when we felt like we were carrying like too much, or whenever what we're carrying, and when do we not, you know, we're all married here, you guys know we're all married. So we have a help, we have a partner, we have kids, we have, you know, like, but we always tend to, I know for myself, but it goes back to like, I'm an accountant, I do accounting, so I feel like, babe, I got all the bills, I got everything handled, don't worry about it, I got it. And he's just like, all right, he's not gonna fight me for it, but then it's okay to ask for help, you know. And I think it goes back to prior me being married, I know we're going on 6 years of marriage, but before that I was single, so I had to figure everything out, and I had to have everything under control, you know. Like I felt like there was a time where I didn't have stuff under control. And it's always that fear. I don't know if it's fear. I don't know what it is that I feel like I need to have it under control because it can get under control. It can get out of control, and then I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You know, like, so
you've already been there before, and you refuse to go back.
Yes. So, but a lot of that thing, I put it on myself because that was before, when I went through that time in my life, it was before Christ. Like, I didn't have a relationship with Christ. Now, I know I have a relationship with Christ. I know what his word says. I know that I can do anything through him, and he has everything under control. Like, it says it, and it's biblical. Like, I think it's in Matthew where it says, like, something about, he feeds the birds. The birds don't worry where food comes from. Like, he has it under control. Like, so I think about like that. If he does that for the animals, like, what about
how much more precious are you?
Yes. So it goes back to like, okay, Claudia, you're not in the place where you used to be. Stop putting all this pressure on you because you're
not single. God bless you with the husband.
Exactly. You know, like, my husband, he's such a hard worker. So I know we're both like, we will work our
Y'all are both
off.
go-getters.
Yeah, we're go-getters. We're I don't know.
You're not hustling. You're working.
We're both, go-getters. So I think that's something that I would say that I put it on myself whenever. Forgive me, guys. I move a lot and I talk with my hands.
Her mic said drop.
That was a mic drop. FYI.
On the podcast again, her mic cushion thing
That's why
fell.
Okay, yes. So whoever's in the audio, my little mic thing fell. So if y'all heard that noise, forgive me. I'm sorry. I don't know if I tapped it or not, but anyways, back to it. I feel like that was a time that I felt like I spread myself. I thought that was, I put that weight on myself.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't, till this day, I'm still learning. I mean, we learn every day, and I feel like I can slowly, my husband's handling some of our finances, and he's like taking care of this. And I'm not saying my husband's not capable. It's just a me problem because my husband is very much capable. It's just me like trying to let that go and like trust. It's a different kind of trust. I don't know.
Nothing to do with your husband. Trust. Everything to do with you unlearning old habits that you've developed across all these years.
So that's something that I would say that I tend to carry. That's what I'm carrying, you know, like trying to, and it's stuff that I put on myself and not that it's.
I love that you're sharing that though, friend, because there's so many women out there that are in that same boat and they do that and they think
and they
like,
get frustrated.
Yes.
Though. Like, my husband doesn't help me with the finances. I got to figure it all out.
But
and
are you
really,
allowing
don't.
him to?
Yeah.
And I think that's the part whenever, like, are you allowing? Because I felt like, again, being from this independent woman, you know, like that I can do everything.
Spirit.
Okay. All right. That's why we have friends.
To a spirit of one with your husband.
Yes. So being independent, it kind of just like, you don't have to do this. Like, God bless him with my husband and with in anything, you know, not just I'm talking about the finances because that's where my head goes to because through our marriage, that's all I've handled, you know, like.
I think that also comes natural because of your job.
True.
Naturally, it just flows. Like, I should just take care of the household finances anyway. That's what I do for a living.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Does get tiring though. And it's not only with, the bills, but the kids, the household items, you know, like all of that kind of stuff. Like we tend, like the cooking, all this kind of stuff, you know, we put on this, we put on this weight on us when it really doesn't have to.
Yeah.
Well,
because they are responsibilities, but we don't have to like so pressured.
Like the girls would say, it's not that deep.
Yeah. Yeah, the pressure of having to do all of those and take care of all of our responsibilities. Yeah. we do tend to try to take control of those things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not only that, like, I don't know, I mean, do y'all want to share anything that you guys, whenever you guys feel pressured?
Like, what do you feel like you're carrying?
Yeah.
For me, I think it's parenting. I think I always feel the pressure to be a better mom.
Yeah.
For them, because we have 4 kids also, and they're all different ages. We have adult kids, teenagers, preteen. So the pressure of always being what each of them needs is like everyday pressure for me. Even though they don't think it, I'm really under pressure, guys, to be pleasing to you.
Be nice to my friend.
Brittany, I said her name. But she was she commented and she was like, "Really? I'm mean to you?"
I mean, we said it, but they're all thinking it.
No, she really is good to me. She's so good to me. But there still is pressure of being something for each one of them, because you don't stop being a mom just because they're adults. There's a different kind of pressure that comes with that, and kind of listening to them, helping them navigate their life, or, you know, the teenager, or the different schedules that you got to have, and remembering everybody's schedule. Like, oops, I forgot you have a basketball game.
Yes.
But that's always a pressure for me.
Yeah.
Nothing else really
Being
gives me
everything
pressure.
to everybody. Like, yeah.
I mean, there's outside pressures of that, but this week that's what I'm dealing with.
I think also, like, sometimes we feel like our adult kids, because I do have an adult kid, and just having to be like, what are you doing? You're not supposed to be doing it that way. You're trying to like fix their life, or trying to prevent them from falling. And then sometimes,
Well, you can't, because they're adults now,
Yes.
and they need to learn on their own. And my kids are really responsible, and they're good at their life. I don't know why I feel that pressure.
But since
Still
we're
to like call them,
Yes.
let them know I care, and if I don't care. Like, God, I don't know what to do. When you were with me, you didn't want to talk to me. Now I don't call you. You're like, I don't care. But yeah, there is.
But
it's
it
a
is all
juggling act.
balancing. Yeah, we all have to balance and juggle things like you said, friend, like work and family and our faith, different things like that. But you also have to balance your children, like balancing. She is an adult. I need to let her experience, but at the same time, I need to help continue to guide her. So there's that fine balance of her as an individual as well, on top of balancing tasks and things. Like it's balancing everything.
Yeah.
not only that, like, I think they're gonna have to make mistakes. We made mistakes when we were young, and I'm just like, I think there was one topic that we were talking about. I kept on getting on her and getting on her and getting on her, and then I finally, she was doing the total opposite that I was telling her, right? And I'm just like, you know what? This is the last time I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to put it away. I'm not even going to think about it. I'm not even going to, like, nothing. You're going to have to figure it out. You're going to deal with the consequences. And I think after she dealt with the consequences, she came back and she was just like, yeah, I stopped doing that. You know, like,
They gotta learn on their own.
She didn't say you were right.
No,
Right.
we don't. As parents, we don't want to say that anyway, because then they'll just lash out and not want to tell us at all.
Yeah.
So it was more like, all right, that's all I had to do. And it's like, whenever I said trusting, it's like, it's a different kind of trust that you put out there, and a different kind of trust that you put it in Christ, you know, another trust that you put in God, that He's gonna take care, like, of your children, you know. And so that's something that tying into that, it's just the adult kids.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of parents out there who have the pressure of juggling different age kids, and if you are a single mom and you don't have help taking your kid from basketball to practice to baseball to gymnastics to school to all those different things, sometimes I feel like there is not a real balance. Like, that's a lie. Because when one thing feels good, another thing falls apart, and so there's like no real balance. Just always just juggle. But also sometimes we just do too much. We feel like our kids have to be in every sport, every competition.
Like we're failing them. If we don't
we're
allow
failing
them
them because we're not pushing them to do better, or have all A's. I used to tell my kids, look, if you're not failing, it's okay. I know that you're going to get where God needs you to get regardless. So taking that pressure off of them, because I feel like I need to be an excellent mom to you. Now I'm putting the pressure on them.
Yeah. And your A's validate that I'm a good mom.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's hard because you want them to succeed.
Yeah.
And
But
we're laughing, and
how does that
Claudia's laughing because she's an all A's mom.
Now I know there's a difference between I know you can do better and pushing them.
Yeah.
That's different. But I feel like when we have expectations of us as parents, we put that on our kids, and it's not their fault.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm very much a 90s and above mom, and my husband also, we talk about this all the time, and sometimes it gets a little intense, you know, and we like to say intense fellowship.
We're disagreeing and we're arguing.
We don't argue.
However, we don't do it, ugly.
Yeah. So and he's just like, maybe you're being too hard on them. I'm like, no. Like, I'm not.
They're gonna do good.
And I understand, like, it goes back to, I understand that each kid is different, because I've proven that with my girls. Each kid is completely different. Another one was like, great, like all her classes were passing, and the other one was struggling. It took time, but at the end of the year she passed all her classes with the A's and B's. So it took her a while to get there. And I wanted to kind of go back to what Vanjie was talking about, like the single moms, because I want to give a shout out to all your single moms, because I was a single mom once, and God bless me with my husband, but I was a single mom once of 2, and it's hard. Like, it's very, very hard, and whenever, but not impossible. Like, I think I spoke to one of the ladies this past Sunday. I was talking to her about use your kid as a motivation to get to the next level. Like, because I felt that what helped me. Like, I didn't want my kids to go through what I've been through, so I wanted to work hard for them, like,
give them a better life.
Yes, exactly. So I did, I didn't have money for sports or anything like that, but I went to a place where they help, like, low income, or like, it's like it's like a rec center, I would say, that they help you with all this kind of stuff. And the kids were in sports. They were active. I'm like, I don't have the funds to pay like $100+ a month to take them to be active, but we're going to be active somehow, some way,
There's programs
I think that giving a shout out to them is important, because what happens when the kid gets sick, or they get called at work to go pick up the child from school or whatever, like, it is hard. I was thinking about that too. Like, shout out to all the moms doing this on their own. They have to humble themselves to ask for rides. They have to humble themselves to ask for help all the time, because they don't have that help. There's a lot of humility in being a single mom. I don't know why I was thinking that on the way over here. That's why I brought it up, because I was like, I know a lot of single moms, and I just think that they don't get enough credit for what they do, because it's hard, and we're married.
Seeing a lot of
remember how hard it was when you were single.
Seeing a lot of the women that are following us and following our pages and listening to our podcast, there's a lot of variety of women, single women, married women, women with children, women without children. Like, I hear what these women are talking about, and to just kind of shift it a little bit, because we're talking about balance. From my experience, I wasn't a single mother. I was blessed with my girls when I got married. But you may be that woman that doesn't have kids yet, and that is the very thing that you're balancing, is struggling with having kids. That was a hard struggle for me. That was balancing my life, and what's wrong with me, God? Why haven't I been blessed yet, God? Like, I'm going through all these different things and emotions and a roller coaster of rides. So I don't take anything at all from single moms. If you're a single mom, my goodness, you are a superwoman all in one.
And clap
but
I always tell people I wasn't a single mom, but I felt like it, because my husband was not hands-on. Where are you? And he would tell everybody, I did not help her at all with the kids.
thank you for sharing that,
Yeah.
Casey, because it's very much like unspoken.
Yeah, and that's a lot of pressure for women who feel
Yes.
like they have to be married and they have to have kids right now. And I feel like just take God's plan as it is.
Yes.
Like, breathe, ladies, breathe.
Like, you may not be struggling with the rides and the drives and things like that, but you may be struggling with seeing it, with being around it, with, man, I don't have those struggles. Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was to the point where I would feel like, man, God, even if I was a single mom, I just want to be a mom. Like, so you're juggling that. So that's what this whole episode is going to be about. Balancing and juggling where you're at. What are you going through? What are you balancing? I'll share mine. So mine,
well, what you're carrying.
what I'm carrying is more of, we've been married for about a little over 2 years now, and I completely moved. I moved about an hour and a half away from my family where I grew up. So right now what I'm carrying is learning how to balance where I grew up, my parents, my siblings, they all live an hour and a half away. And what I have now, my friends, my family, my immediate family, my husband, my girls, and balancing time between both, making it to birthday parties, making it to dress fittings, not letting anybody feel left out, because I was the aunt that was at every football game, every practice, any tryout, you name it, I was there. So now being the aunt that lives so far away, that is what I carry. It's balancing those things on top of balancing the parenting aspect. So for me, I already know I'm going to cry in this episode, just so y'all know.
We have the clean candy, okay?
And you're parenting an adult and a teenager.
And going from this not even single mom, single woman, I didn't have that responsibility of another child, of another person. I was living for me, myself, and I, not in a selfish way. That's just where I was in life. And then getting married and being responsible for 2 girls and a husband immediately, and now learning to balance how they need me, because one is grown, one's 21, and one is 17 right behind her. So figuring out, how do they need me, and how do I allow them to still have space? How can I not overstep what they already have, but still teach them and guide them in ways that I know I still can? So balancing those things by still letting them be their own person who they always been, not taking anything from them, but still putting my little thumbprint on who they are as women. So that's my balancing, is allowing them to still have their own individuality, freedom, because they have that already. But how do I not overstep those boundaries for them? How do I not overstep who they already are because of who I'm trying to help them become?
And carrying that new title of a mom.
It's crazy, because right now that you're saying that, we're all in different areas in life. Like, I'm over here thinking about, like, directly goes to finances, boundaries, parenting, and you coming into moving your life basically from
my
one
job,
part of
everything
town to another part of town. And,
everything in my life changed. My job, working out, family, everything changed.
It went from just you, which you were...
I lived on my own. I lived in my own apartment.
Independent, but you were very close to your family. And then moving here, and now you have more responsibilities. It's not just about you.
It's not just me, myself, and I anymore.
Or you being an aunt. Like, you were a really good aunt, now you want to be a really good mom. That is a lot.
So it's a lot of balance. Like, a lot of what I'm carrying right now is, figuring it out and not overstepping my boundaries, not overstepping.
Like, how much do you need me to be a mom? How much do you need me to be a friend? Because I feel like the kids want us to be both, and we don't know.
To confide in.
We don't know how to do that, guys.
I want to be someone you can confide in, but I'm not really just your friend. Like, finding that balance, because y'all have had this with your children their whole lives. I have 2 years, a year and a half left with Layla. Lisette's already grown. Like,
and y'all have been married how long? 2 years?
2 years.
And then you were in their life a year before that?
Mm-hmm.
So 3 years you've known them.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And that's it. So it's a lot of
and
juggling.
Like, get it together.
And not, and I think the biggest part, is not overwhelming them with my presence. I
taking it personal.
Yeah. I'm very big on like, let's ease into this together. Yeah. I'm not the type of mom that's like, I'm here now. Like, no, I mean, let's do this together. Let's grow together. Like,
you're learning a new position. They're learning a new position. Like everybody had a shift.
Yes.
Yeah.
My husband's learning how to have a woman in their daughter's lives.
And he raised them all by himself.
And he raised them by himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can relate, like, with the, when change comes, it's like,
it's hard. I hate change.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, but I also
knows like
growing pains.
When things change, I'm like, oh, here we go. I just got comfortable with this one thing.
I feel like going back to Casey coming in, like, I'm a blended family as well, you know, like, and blending the kids and like the changes for the kids. Not only do you're going through changes, but also the kids, and they have emotions, and they have feelings, and they have
they didn't have a say-so in this change.
Yeah,
this
they didn't.
Family. They just got thrown in it and dragged around.
I'm like, we're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. You want it or not?
Yes. It's better for you.
I love him. We're marrying him.
I used to tell the girls, let me love you. They were like, no. Who are you?
And then your girls had to learn how to have a relationship with the new dad.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit challenging for our Otis. I don't like to say my Otis or his Otis. Like, we are a family once we got married. Like, I love all 4 of my girls the same. We always say us, like our Otis,
kids.
Yes, exactly. It's our kids. So our Otis didn't have a relationship with her father growing up. Like, she didn't have that father figure, but my dad, which is her grandpa, which we shouldn't be calling him grandpa. We call him Papa because he gets a little.
He doesn't like grandpa. We talked about this last week.
Not for this podcast.
He doesn't like being called grandpa. But so that was the only father figure she knew. So coming into this, it was like a shock for her. Like, why are you telling me what to do?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? But then she got to grow. Their relationship grew. It's not gonna happen from night and day. To all my blended family out there, it's not gonna happen. It's a process. It's a lot of prayer. I know I can tell you, we're still, it's like a constant thing. It's it's never
learning each other. These are new relationships.
Yes.
I mean, we're going on 6 years being married, and I mean, we're still learning each other. And then they go through all these phases and emotions, and I'm just like,
I like you, but I don't like you.
Yeah, I don't like you right now.
So,
can you be my mom today, but tomorrow when I want to do my own thing, I don't need you no more.
So it's very much like that, especially like you guys know, I have 4 girls, and they're all in each different stages in life and different schools in life.
And then y'all share one together.
Yes. And our 4-year-old is shared. Well, conceived.
Same parents.
Yeah. So that one, she's the promised land baby, we call her.
Oh yeah, she is.
I tell my kids there's before Christ.
Yes.
After Christ.
Yeah, she's the after Christ baby for sure.
Yeah.
My 2 oldest were born before I was saved, and my 2 youngest were born after I was saved. So there's a huge difference in our parenting.
Yes.
Just with them. That's why it feels like I'm not their mom. And I am, clearly.
And the oldest are probably looking at the youngest like, you have no idea how hard it was for us.
That's exactly what they say. Like, you got this good version over here. We got the bad one. Yeah.
So, yes, I totally understand.
Relationships that y'all are learning in your households, which I just realized that right now, those are new relationships.
Yes.
So we always have the pressure of new relationships like outside of the home, but I never thought about it inside the home.
Yes, balancing
So for blended families, that's exactly what y'all are juggling.
Yeah.
So we're it's a different kind of superpower. I like to say.
It's a whole superpower to be a girl mom. I'm just gonna say that.
Girl mom, blended mom, help me mom.
So I think us as women, we can agree, and you guys, like, every woman, I believe, is like a super mom in their own way. Like, you have the single moms that are like, I know the struggle. Then you have the ones that
you have your working moms who feel like there's mom guilt for that because they're working and they can't be at home with their kids.
Yes.
But then if they had the opportunity, would it be good?
Yes.
Because Claudia says all the time, I would stay home. But then when she does stay home, she's bored.
Yeah.
She's lying.
I've always said, like, I wanted to be a stay-home wife, not a mom.
Oh, clarity.
Oh, I want to be a stay-at-home dog mom.
Yes.
Send the kids somewhere, though.
I think I heard it from one of my other friends that she always says that I want to be a stay-home wife, not a mom. And I said, oh my God, I never thought about that. And yes, I have goals. I want to be that. I want to be a stay-home wife, not a mom. Like, it's too much. I don't, no.
But for the women who are balancing work and kids, that's hard for them because they really shouldn't feel mom guilt.
No.
They should feel like, give yourself time to adjust.
Give yourself some
it's
grace.
okay. Love your work. Love your mom life. It's okay.
Yeah.
Because you're tremendous either way.
Yes. You're doing a lot.
Yeah.
And all right, so now that we know and we've been clear of what we're carrying,
Yeah.
you know, like, I would like for you guys to chime in the comments. I don't know, message us, send in an inbox or something, or anything that we can, like, you want to just vent or like just tell us like what you're carrying, and I don't know, just chime in.
Let us know where you're at. How can we relate, or something maybe we didn't touch on? Like, how can you share your heart with us?
So one of the things we wanted to discuss, though, is how you give yourself grace while you're trying to juggle all the things you have on your plate.
Yes.
So what's one of the things you do, Claudia? When you feel the pressure of juggling everything in your life, what do you do for yourself to maintain sanity?
I think the biggest thing for me, and the people who know me or follow me or whatever know that my go-to place is the gym. You know, like, I always tell my husband, you know what, I need to go. I need to go run. I need to go hit a punching bag. I need to go work out or something. And I feel like whenever giving myself grace in that area, because I know I have to go home and cook dinner. I know I have to go home and tend my kids. I know I have to go home and be a wife and do all of this because I'm also a dog mom too.
Yeah.
So like, but that's like a way I feel like I'm giving myself grace is by going and giving myself that time, because I know that I need that time to go work out and get this stress out from work or just for myself, you know. And I know
Clear your mind.
exactly,
A lot of
because
people do that.
imagine if I come home and I didn't work out, I'm yelling at the kids, not all the time, but
it relieves the stress of pressure.
Yeah.
But one thing I like that you do is you set a time to go do that that doesn't interfere with all your mom duties and wife duties. She gets up at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock?
3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
To go work out, guys.
When people make a comment like, oh my God, I wish I was a morning person. I wish I could work out in the morning. I always tell them, like, I didn't choose to be a morning workout person. I knew that if I wanted to carve out time for myself, it was gonna have to be in the morning. So I started doing like you did. Like, I started morning workouts because that's literally the only time I could find. And me time was so important to me that I would get up an extra hour and a half earlier to have it. So sometimes, you know, if you're listening or you're watching and you think, oh, I don't have the time, you're gonna
really
have
do.
to make it. Like, unfortunately,
we
have the time.
We really do, unless you are doing too much.
It's what's important to you. And and figuring out what really needs to be done
Yeah.
versus, like you said earlier, the expectations that we just put on ourselves.
Yeah, priorities versus things that really shouldn't matter, don't matter.
Yeah.
You shouldn't waste your time on.
Yes.
So I wanted to point that out because a lot of people do think I don't have time. I have to do this, and this.
Yes.
But you just don't want to make time.
Yes.
Because, girl, if I can check your time on your phone, screen time, how much you spend in TikTok, how much you spend in social media.
Social media.
Yeah,
And all
or
this
sitting
time.
down watching TV or whatever it is, however you relax, you could actually go and do something that's more healthier for you,
Yes.
your mentality, release some stress, all that pressure of being a mom, a parent, whatever it is. There really is time.
Yes, and
I choose not to work out. I know I got time.
But you try, because I know last time
I
we
try
had a
every-
conversation,
yeah.
I was just like, is she on the treadmill?
Yeah.
That's so much.
I get on and off, on and off, on and off. But I do make time when I need it. Like when I'm really stressed out, I'm feeling bloated.
Yeah, like
Health is all over the place.
I'm
Then I
walking
get
on the treadmill.
Yeah, then I get on to make myself feel better, and then
Yes.
that's over with. At the end of the week, I'm done. I'm good. I feel great.
Let's go eat.
Yeah. Claudia does it for stress.
Yeah.
I do it for health reasons because I feel bloated.
Yes.
Casey does it
Because
so she doesn't end up in jail.
Yes. Everybody's like, you're so calm, you're so nice. I'm like, when I don't go to the gym, my husband's like, you haven't gone to the gym this week? How do you know?
He can tell your voice.
He can
I
tell.
just want to point out that none of us do it because we actually want to look good.
None.
That's not a priority anymore.
I always say, I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm trying to maintain what I have.
Because I like pizza.
Yes. Gonna work out because I'm gonna eat later.
So that's something that I really think that's how I give myself grace.
Give
It's
yourself
always
grace.
like whenever I feel like I cannot handle it, like I would say like, or whenever I'm just feeling overwhelmed, at the end of the day, I'm all like, all right, God, like I can't do anything about it. My hands are tied. Like, let it go. Give it to Him, because at the end of the day, we tend to want to fix everything or be there and all this kind
That's
of
where the
stuff.
control issues come in, though.
Yes.
We gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Tying into that, I'll share, I've learned to give myself grace. So again, newly blending, learning each other, learning the girls. I've learned to give myself grace by allowing them to have times like, for example, if I feel like I need to make dinner, I need to come home, I need to wash, I need to clean, I need to cook, I need to do all this stuff. And sometimes Lisette, I can be at H-E-B, just bought what I'm going to make for dinner, and Lisette will text and say, hey, I think I'm going to make chicken Alfredo tonight. Instead of me getting defensive, like, no, I'm the mom, I'm going to cook. I already went to H-E-B, I already bought this stuff. Yeah. I give myself grace because I'm like, yes, please cook. Yeah. And that, to me, is little moments like that. I appreciate that about her, because I also know, balancing, that she's learning to have another woman in the house too. Mm-hmm. For so many years, she took on a role of the big sister, of making sure everybody eats, making sure there's dinner, like helping dad do all these things. Like, she's not mom, but she is big sister. Yeah. So balancing is also me allowing her to still have, I'm not trying to take that from her. Yeah. That's who she is in this family too. So I allow myself grace by not putting that expectation, that pressure on myself that I have to be the one to do it. Like, no, girl, please help me cook. Please make something. Like, by all means, I appreciate that. And I had to learn to do that because, I mean, I'm going to be transparent. In the beginning, I was like, no, that's my responsibility. I'm his wife. Like, I should be cooking for y'all. And again, that goes back to the enemy lying to us. Like, allow your kids to help you. Allow her to cook dinner every now and then. Allow them to do things, because that's my breathing room of, okay, I'm going to come home, put the groceries up. I can make it tomorrow. Yeah. Like, give yourself grace where God's trying to give it to you. Yeah. Yeah.
That is good, because now that you're saying that, I remember when there was a time that when I got married, my husband was very much like, they have to clean, they have to that, and I'm all like, they're tired from school. Like, no, they have homework to do and all this kind of stuff. He's like, I'm tired from work.
Yeah.
They can get up and wash dishes. They can get up and clean up their own mess because literally it's their own
it's
mess.
theirs.
Yeah.
So being able to, I mean, a part of like, now that you're talking about that, it's just like, I literally come home and we have a chore log and the girls like handle their chores.
Yeah.
And I come home to a clean house, you know, and I just come in to cook dinner. And so that was something that I was just like, man, babe, thank you so much. You had the great idea of like getting these kids up, like to do something, and instead of babying them, instead of, I don't know what it was like.
Teach them to do laundry. Let them sweep and mop.
They did, but it wasn't easy for me to let that go. Back to the controlling part, like.
And expectations. Like, we put these own things
on
ourselves.
You probably didn't want to look lazy.
Yeah. Remember, like, she would get up and make tacos and dinner.
But it was very much like that. But again, it goes back to like, depending on what season you are in life, you know. So it's just like, at one point I could do all the chores. I can get up at 4:00 in the morning and before my workout and make my husband tacos before I can do this, you know. But we evolve, we grow, and again, I always said this. You never want to stop growing. You always want to be uncomfortable. We don't like to be uncomfortable, but we have to. In order to grow, we don't want to grow. We don't want to be complacent. Like, I mean, I feel like that for me. Like, I'm just like, we want to be uncomfortable. If I'm too comfortable, then I get bored, and I'm like, what am I doing with my life? Anyways.
No, I don't.
How do you give yourself grace?
How do I give myself? I leave the dishes in the sink and the dirt on the floor and the laundry. Actually, the kids do their own laundry now. But I don't stress out about household chores. Like, that's the last on my list. If I can take care of everything else, then that can wait until tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. It's going to be okay.
It's going to be fine.
Yeah, it's going to be fine. You're not a dirty pig.
Yes.
You're not a slob. But I think a lot of moms have a lot of pressure of the house needs to be clean.
Yeah.
And if it's not clean, it makes me look bad.
Yeah. Then I'm a bad mom.
I'm a bad
No, you're just a mom that people live in your house. Yeah. Children live in your house.
Yeah. There was a time, though, that I had the kids. Every week we cleaned the baseboards, the vents, I mean, everything in the house. Because I really felt like that proved I was a good wife, a good mom.
Yes.
I put those expectations on myself, but I also grew up that way. My mom was very clean. Everything had to be clean. No dust in the house. And so that's how I raised my two older ones. They had the pressure of it all. And now I'm like, it's okay. Every time I say something, both of y'all have like this.
Because it's me right now. If you're listening and you can't see me, that's me. I have like borderline OCD.
But that's how I give myself grace, because I used to be like that.
Yeah.
And now I realize, because my two younger ones, they actually show emotion. The other two were like, okay, get it done. They didn't fuss about anything.
They were BC kids, so.
Yes. And we didn't have feelings back then. And they were not allowed to show me feelings. I wasn't raised that way, so they were not raised that way. But now these other two, they're sensitive. And so if I yell at them or talk to them a certain way or put too much on them, their little face makes me sad. Like, now I feel worse.
Forget it. Just leave them there.
You know, teaching them responsibilities and putting pressure on them are two different things.
Yeah.
So that's how I give us all grace. It's okay, the dishes can wait until tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's okay, your laundry. And my kids are infamous with doing laundry the night of. Like, they need underwear the next day.
Yeah.
And I'm letting them learn that because they got to learn how to be responsible, right?
Yes.
And so I'm like, oh my God, why do you always do that? And then I catch myself, no, they're learning responsibility.
Yeah.
So I let them do the late night laundry
Let
runs.
them stay up, set an alarm, move it over to the dryer, do what you got to do.
For me, instead of putting pressure on me that I need to get it done now, I need to stay up. No, that's on them.
Yes. Yeah.
I think saying like being graceful, like so you're not a bad mom if you put a chore list for your kids, because you're
teaching responsibility.
Responsibility. Yeah. Because I was that mom. Like, I would be like, oh, they're so tired, and my husband was like, what about me? Like, what about us? You know, like we could get tired. Like, we have to.
During school, I will say that I do more of the chores than they do because they are tired and, you know, God forbid, right?
Yeah.
But they still have them on the weekends or days that they don't have something like, so we shift schedules. I think that people want to stick to a certain thing, how it looks, and it needs to be like this all the time. And no, schedules change, people change, life changes, and just kind of go with the flow with it.
Yes.
Like, don't stress out.
When we first bought our house, oh my God, I think the girls were sick of me with like, clean this, clean that, wipe that down.
And
because it was a new house and it was all white. And so if there's anything like on the counter, I'm like, clean that, wipe that, scrub that, like help me.
Yeah.
And now I'm learning, like I'll see the broom and I'm like, okay, it's still in the kitchen, but thank you that they swept. Grace.
Yes. Oh yeah, we gotta be graceful with them too. So we've been talking about parenting and nobody has mentioned juggling marriage. So right now I was thinking, I haven't even talked about date night. And I'm you know, like, how do we juggle marriage, which that's more important than that's priority,
that's our first
and that
ministry.
comes first. Before kids, we got to take care of our spouses. So how do you juggle your husband, spending time with your husband, having a relationship with your husband?
Right. We talked about everything else, but
we love you. You are a priority.
The men who are actually praying for us through this.
Yes.
I love you, babe. I was sitting here thinking, like,
that's part of juggling too. Yeah.
My poor husband, he just got left out.
Well, we are fortunate that our youngest is 17. So when we want to have date night, and it kind of got into a routine there for a while, like before summer hit, Friday nights we either had marriage group or date night. So the girls kind of knew every Friday was our night. Yeah. Whether we were going to do marriage group to build our marriage and our foundation, or it was our night on our own, but they kind of knew, okay, it's Friday night, they're going to go do something on their own. Yeah. So we did do that for a while, and then when summer kicked in, we take some time off and do different things. So we have been like doing day dates, breakfast. I love breakfast dates with my husband. We'll get up early, and I love couponing. I'm a couponer. So he'll be like, hey, let's get up early, take a shower. We'll go have breakfast, and then you can hit the stores that you need to. And I'm like, perfect. Thank you. So it's not necessarily like a date, but we're still spending like one-on-one time together. And I think that's important to remember in this whole balancing and juggling is don't set your expectations so high that we have to have this whole date planned out, a whole vacation planned out. Like, no, sometimes we just go to Target and we get an icy and a popcorn and we walk around. Yeah. And that's just us spending time together. Yeah.
I think that women tend to think like it has to be always romantic. Yeah. Or spending money. Yes. And then they make excuses, well, we don't have any money, so we can't go on a date night. So there's a lot of different versions of this that we need to touch on, because I know for us, we're still juggling the kids. They have things all the time. So trying to find time by ourselves is a little bit harder. Not too much, because we do leave them at home by themselves. They're at home right now while we're recording. But I'm not with my husband. But for us, it's literally just sitting on the couch and watching a movie and talking and watching a movie, and like he'll be texting me all these things while we're sitting on the couch together. I'm like, leave me alone, I'm trying to watch TV. Sending me reels and all kinds of things about old couples.
He's like, look at us.
But that means a lot to us. Like just being able to carve out that time after work and you know, the kids are doing their own thing by that time, and just sitting down and pretending to watch a movie, which we're not. He's bothering me.
But it's y'all's quality time.
But it's fun. And we're sitting there laughing, and then we're like trying to catch up with the movie, and then I ask him 20 questions like, what happened here? What happened there? See, you keep interrupting me. You know, like just those little moments where we don't need money, we don't really need time because we're still in the house, the kids are there. But taking that time out to just pay attention to him.
Time together,
I'm paying attention to you either way. I'm sitting here with you on the couch. So that's how. And then, if things evolve later on and we do plan a date night, cool, but that's more important to me.
And that's important to remember for the women that are listening. Like, it depends too on what season that you're in life with your spouse and how old your children are, what they're going through, if it's summer or it's school or, like...
Yeah. Because right
y'all
now, y'all have a lot of time together, but that might shift one day.
Yeah.
Yes.
We may have more time when Layla goes off to college. Like, I don't know how it's going to look, but
what happens if work picks up for him.
Yes. There are times where he was on call for like 2 weeks straight. Like, so finding time and what works for y'all.
And not being so hard on each other. Like, just sit down and be quiet.
I've learned the hard way is not setting expectations.
That
was a big one for you.
That's for everything though in life. I have to say, we set expectations that are just not realistic.
Yeah.
And I'm all like, but the movie showed this. Why aren't you doing this?
Yeah.
Like, you expect your husband or your partner to be like that, and it's not realistic. Like, it's not like...
It's not like the movie.
No,
you will have those times, but it's not always.
Like social media. Social media is a lie, people.
Yes.
Stop
If y'all don't know
that, stop comparing your marriage and yourself and your kids, your finances to anything on social media.
Yes.
Just
please
keep in mind that they filter, like, they make it look perfect, and it's really not. Like, marriage is hard. Getting blended families are hard. Raising kids is hard. But I would say for myself, I think giving my husband that attention. We do go out on date nights. We do. It's normally on a Friday because we've made it. The kids already know, and we're thankful of having a kid in every season in life, like every age group. Yeah, every age group. There you go. Every age group, because the oldest can watch the youngest, and if not, the 15-year-old can watch the youngest. There's always a babysitter, and it's for free.
And your two middle ones go to their parents sometimes.
Yes.
So that works out perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's always very much like that. So, but there are times that we can't. Like, I remember vividly one. It's like a core memory, honestly, because
not you
burned in the brain.
Not you quoting what is it?
Inside Out.
core memory.
It's a core memory. Like, and it recently happened. Like, I don't know when it was. We didn't have a babysitter. It was my husband, our 4-year-old, and myself, and we were just walking the trail downtown, and then we spent like the whole day outside, and you know what we did? We cruised all around Austin, and we were just talking about life, how far we've came. We went to our old neighborhoods to talk about like everything where God has brought us from, and it's just kind of like, man, it was good to share that side with my husband, and that's something that I was just like, and we didn't spend any money, well, maybe gas, but we were just
something
like
so simple.
It was so simple, and it was just, I remember I'm like, man, we were cruising, we were like, had the windows down, the rooftop open, like all of that thing. And it was good. We were just talking, and
that's awesome. Benny, when he takes me cruising, guys, he takes me to every job he ever did. Every house he's ever worked on.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is great.
I'm so excited. Well, I'm not from Austin, so every time John takes me driving, when he does drive me around, he's like, where do you want to go? But where do you want to go? And I'm like, no, just cruise around. Like, just drive me around. And he's like, where? And
it's
I'm like,
small.
I don't know.
Right? Like, it's small, but it's big.
I'm like, you could just drive in a circle. I wouldn't know. I'm not from here. I don't know where you're going.
I always mention, this area, there's like downtown, or this area, just, I don't know.
We like to do that too, like reminiscing, and
That was our first time actually doing that, and it really like stuck to me, because it was just kind of like, actually that time we went to my neighborhoods, like, I don't know, maybe next time we'll go to his neighborhoods, just to kind of know, like, just get to know. I mean, you get to learn
where he came from.
It makes your past reality.
Yeah, how far he's come
and
as a
be
man.
so thankful and like I don't know. I
How
go
far y'all come.
how far we've come, not only for myself personally, but as a marriage.
Yeah.
Like, so it's something that I forever like. I don't know. It's one of that right there is like a core memory of mine. But I would always say like, you have to spend time. You have to give your husband or your partner that time, because you can, at the end of the day, like, kids will leave, everything will leave, and you want to be able to have your spouse and still be dating. And I didn't understand that term before, like, never stop dating.
Your husband, your spouse.
Always date your spouse.
Never stop dating each other.
Because at the end of the day, like, and I've seen couples, like, separate after their kids leave their house. And I'm like, oh my God, it's been so many years. Like, seeing that, and I've seen it firsthand, like, with people.
I have too. My parents got divorced, and I was getting a tattoo, and I was talking to one of the men there, and he had been married for 40 years.
Wow.
And they got a divorce after their kids grew up. They had grandkids at this point, but they just didn't know each other. Yeah. And I felt so bad.
They were always so preoccupied
that is
with
so
the
sad.
kids.
And then I said, I don't want that to ever happen to my husband and me.
Yeah.
Not sensitive at all to him.
Forget about you. Let's talk about me.
But outside of my own family and my parents getting a divorce, I realized this happens to everybody. Where you just don't know each other at the end of the season of kids. You don't know each other.
Yes.
That's crazy. And I grew up with my husband. I was 14, so I've seen him in all different phases of life, and I feel like, am I ever gonna get bored with him?
No.
Well, you have to like.
First of all, I pray I don't. Like, I always pray for our marriage and our intimacy, and like, keep it interesting, God. Because if that can happen to people, it can happen to anybody.
Yes.
Like, I'm not excluding.
Yeah,
it can happen to anyone. So keep it interesting. Keep us funny. Keep us
in love.
Yes. Remind me all the time of why I fell in love, and it's the simple things that really matter. And this is like your partner, your best friend. And if you're not best friends, then become best friends.
Yeah.
Start over. Get to know each other on a different level.
Yes.
I think that spouses don't give each other grace at all.
Yeah.
With growth, evolving. We are evolving, and can you imagine if he still expected 14-year-old
He's not always going to be the version of himself that you met and fell in love with. He's going to grow and change, and so are you.
Yeah, and giving each other that space to grow and evolve, and not saying, I don't even know you anymore.
Yeah.
Because we hear that a lot. I don't know who they are.
I don't know. Yeah.
So, a nugget, never stop dating. Plan the simplest thing. Like, Dollar Tree sells a lot of things you can paint, and just ask questions. I don't know, like, because
I make Benny do a lot of things that he doesn't want to do, by the way.
Yeah.
That's called compromise, people. Learn that word in marriage.
Do
compromise.
you do things that he
likes?
likes?
I do. I do not like sports, and I sit there and I act.
That is very true. Yes, you do.
I tell everybody, I will sit with him and I will watch basketball, whatever he's watching. He's always watching something.
Yeah.
And I will just pretend like I love it. I ask him questions, and I'm like, oh my God, that's right. And I'm really in my head like, I am so bored out of my mind. And he knows this. This is not news to him. This is not news to him. I'm literally telling him like, I'm bored and I hate this, but I love you.
But I love you.
I'm gonna
so
sit here
let's
with you and watch what you want to watch.
I am so thankful. Like, my husband and I, like, we do spend a lot of, we always tend to, like, we have to spend time with each other, because life can be lifing sometimes, and we forget why. We see all the bad, but whenever we're like stressed, or whenever we're like putting all these expectations on each other, whenever the kids stress us out, or we have issues with the kids, like, that's all you tend to focus on. But then you have to, like, get away from that. And I believe that that's something that, like, the going back to, like, oh, this is why I married. You know, it's a reminder when you spend time, you're like, man, I laugh with this guy. You know, like, you never want to lose that. You know? And not only, like, in life, like, dating, but also, like, in intimacy and all the, there's
pray for your intimacy.
Yes. I was going to say
sex is good, ladies and gentlemen. Pray for your intimacy. Because that doesn't only mean sex. That means conversations. That means dreams, goals, vision. Like, when
being intimate with your husband isn't it
if
just
you ask
sexual.
your husband, what are your dreams? And he says, I don't know. Well, don't just leave it there.
Yeah.
Pick his brain.
Yeah.
So
I think it's a lot. You can always we're blessed that with my husband. I guess I'm blessed that my husband takes me. We tend to go on
I was gonna bring up your vacation.
Yeah, we tend to go and we go out of the country. We've been able to go out of the country.
They pretend like they don't got no friends and no family. And they pretend like they're foreigners.
So I think that's, I mentioned the whole cruising part because that's something that we didn't need financial, it wasn't expensive. We just cruised and we were just there. But we worked so hard and I've mentioned that my husband has his company and he works so hard. He's a hardworking man, and I know I work hard. So I'm just let's go and
allow yourself to enjoy it.
Yes, we allow ourselves and just go out. And I'm a coupon person. Not my friend.
No, you're frugal. You're frugal with your money. You're mindful of how to spend your money.
So I'm always looking for deals with trips or anything like that, and I found really good deals, so I tend to try to do that once a year. We literally go out of the country, Mexico normally, and we lay on the beach and we don't do anything but lay on the beach and
you plan that ahead of time. I think that's the only thing we actually plan ahead of time, right? Vacations. I'm out of here, people.
Yeah.
But for those of you who say we can't afford it, save your money.
Save your money.
Stop going out to eat. Stop buying things you
It doesn't have to be a big extravagant thing.
It can even be here in the United States.
Yes. Taking a trip to the next city and spending a weekend or a day or something.
Yeah, something. But you can save. It can be done.
Yeah.
It can happen. Again, we plan this. We normally know it's around August or September when we go, so we kind of just always know that, all right, we need to put this aside for our, know what, actually the points on our card help us, so I believe I know he uses cards for work and stuff, so the points that we get there, that's how we go on our vacation.
It helps you with hotels and stuff?
Yeah, it pays for everything because it turns into cash.
Oh, okay.
So it depends on how many times you use. Yeah, it builds up, and then we use it throughout the whole year, and then we're able to. Yeah. So that's something that
I know a lot of people who pay as they go. They set it, and then they're able to make a payment plan.
Yeah, I know cruises are like that.
But if you can't afford it, do not go out of your way. Yes. If you cannot afford it, don't think you need to afford
and if you can't do it now because your kids are little or because you're going through school or whatever the reason is, if you can't do it now, that doesn't mean you can't do it later. It's okay.
Don't how do you say, don't steal from,
don't live outside of your means.
Don't live outside of your means, but what is that saying? Don't steal from Peter to pay Paul.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Exactly that. Don't try to keep up with the Joneses, whatever y'all want to call it.
However you want to word it, don't do it.
It's just it's something that they can afford to do.
Yeah.
We've been blessed, and it's not something. Oh, that's why we're not happy. I don't want to. In no means, disclaimer. I don't want to say that is what
you have to do.
To order for dating. No. I said this is what we're able to do, and and I've also said cruising, simply cruising around the town was my core memory.
Yeah.
That's something that next time we go cruising, we can go to his side of town.
I think that the whole point is investing.
Yes.
Yeah. You have to invest in each other. No matter how you do it, invest in each other.
Yes.
Yeah. So we covered marriage and parenting.
And we're already an hour.
And finances.
We're already an hour.
Yeah. So
that was fast. We talk a lot and it goes by so fast.
Sorry, guys.
So just to close it out, in conclusion or summarize everything, ladies, I would say be graceful with yourself. Yes, don't put these expectations on you. Don't feel like you have to do wear all these capes. We're referencing these as capes, all these hats or capes or hats. There you go.
They tend, the saying is, I wear all these hats. Okay. So I got to take off my mom hat. People say that.
Yeah.
So it's not that you have to do all that. Have grace on yourself. It's okay to not do that pile of laundry. It's okay to not do everything on your list. It's okay. So
And reflect on, like, if you're stressed out about something, is this really something worth being stressed on, or is this just an expectation that I put on myself? Like, you know, just be aware, be mindful of what you're putting on your own plate versus what really needs to be done. Have grace with yourself. Learn to have grace with yourself.
yes.
We keep saying grace because I think that we see it as a mistake. If we don't do X, Y, and Z, we made a mistake. We failed. Whatever you want to call it. And that's why we're saying have grace on yourself, because it's a part of forgiving yourself, evolving and growing. If you missed a meeting, it's fine. Don't kill yourself over it. I think, like, just don't get stuck in the moment of disappointment, because we get disappointed in ourselves as moms, as spouses, as friends. Don't stay stuck in there. You can always have a conversation to make things better. You can always go and do that laundry the next day.
Yes. It's gonna be there, girl.
Yeah, bills are always gonna be there. Laundry is always gonna be there. These things are never going to end. And also be grateful.
Yeah.
That is something that I've learned to do, is be grateful you have laundry waiting there for you.
Yes.
Be grateful that you have kids running around the house, making a mess, breaking things, not listening to you. If you got wayward kids that you're worried about, be grateful you have someone to worry about.
I'm always reminding myself of that, because, you know, when I get stressed out about laundry, dishes, things like that, I remember it wasn't even 3 years ago that these were the things I was praying for.
Yep.
I was living by myself. I would literally call one of my friends on the phone, because she has a big family. I kid you not. I would call her and tell her to put me on speakerphone. Ooh, emotional. I would tell her, put me on speakerphone because I just need noise. My house is too quiet. And I would just hear her kids playing, fighting, laughing, her dog, whatever the noise was. I just needed life in my apartment. So when I see the laundry and I get overwhelmed, I have to remind myself, these are literally answered prayers.
Yeah, we're living our prayers. Yes. And I think that whatever is stressing you out, whatever you're juggling, remember that faith without works is dead. You have to literally have faith in what you want the outcome to be. If you're wanting to be a better parent, then have faith in yourself that you're going to be a better parent. You can be a better parent. We can learn from our mistakes. But I always believe that it starts with just being grateful. Being grateful that you have that moment to be a parent, be a spouse, be a friend. You can live life. You woke up, you can breathe, you still have purpose, you still have a calling, you have a job. May not be the job you like, it may not be the hours you want. Start out with just being grateful. And then take it slow. Like, live life, enjoy the moment. What are we in a rush for? What are we in a rush for doing the laundry? It's just going to get dirty again.
It's going to get dirty again.
I think something that sticks out to me is, like, whenever I feel overwhelmed, or whenever I feel like I get to do this. Like, there was a point in time that I didn't have a house to clean. That I didn't, you know, like, I get to wake up and go to work. You know, I get to wake up and take my kids to their sporting events.
Instead of feeling overwhelmed. One moment of being grateful changes everything.
Just really switching your mindset and the way that you view things. You know, like, yes, you get to do these things because your kids are gonna grow up. Everything's gonna can leave, but as long as you enjoy the moment, and you're like, you know what, that laundry.
Because life is gonna pass us by.
And life is always going to be lifing, like Casey said earlier. Something's always happening. There's always things going on. There's always something you're going to have to buy or do or juggle through life with. But if you're not grateful, you just become bitter, and that just makes life worse. So, I've learned that. I think that, when did Benny have a heart attack? 5 years ago? That's what I learned, is to be extremely grateful, because I could be a widow today. My story could be completely different. And that moment I learned I need to be more grateful with everything in my life. So,
All right, guys. Well, thank you for staying with us today. And I just want to remind you guys, like, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, somebody that needs encouragement, somebody that just can sit at the table with us and talk about life, you know, and don't forget to be graceful with yourself and remember that you're not alone.
Another is in the fire.
Yeah.
That's what we were supposed to do.
Oh, yeah. My bad.
Wait, redo.
Okay.
Take 2. Ready?
What were we saying?
You are not alone.
You're not alone.
We're not editing this out. Go. Remember that you are not alone.
Remember that you're not alone.
Another's in the fire.
Yeah.